we get moving. All right, so don't worry about trying to copy it down right now. Okay, so we're gonna get started. And if I miss you, we'll come back around to you. Just tell me I've missed you, but we're gonna do our best. So is it Tam? Tam, you got the first question. I'm gonna put it up on the screen.
Okay.
That is the reason I think it wrong. Well, it's still wrong. So it's fantastic. Hilarious.
So you want me to read the question?
Read the question and give us your answer.
All right. Prior to the contest, the official is required to ask the coach, does your team have healthcare professional authorized in concussion management? And the answer is A, true.
Okay. Does everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Okay, so most of you guys don't have this, but if you've taken your WOA test online, it discusses this. But it's also in one of the rule books, or excuse me, the mechanic manuals that you may or may not have. Stacy, do they have the mechanic manual?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so in the mechanic manual, it's in the section,
It's at the beginning
in
somewhere.
the beginning of the book, because Washington State has some exceptions. And in the beginning of the book, they go over those, and it's on page 14. It starts on page 14 of your mechanics manual. So if you just have that out and you go over the Washington State exceptions, this is where this stuff about the concussions and stuff comes in. All right. So that was Tam. Chris, you want number 2?
Oh gosh, I suppose so. Let's see. After being removed from the game for symptoms of a concussion, a player must be evaluated by proper medical personnel prior to returning to play. Who is responsible for making sure the player has been properly evaluated? And I said head coach.
Okay, everybody agree, disagree? Don't all speak up at once.
I agree with you, Chris.
Oh, cool.
Agreed.
Okay, that's correct. Again, these are pretty basic, you know, the hard stuff comes along. Okay, that was Chris. How about Kelsey, number 3?
After being removed from the game for symptoms of a concussion, the player is approved to return to play. A few plays later, the player is once again showing signs of a potential concussion. What should be done? I said that the player should be sent off for evaluation.
Any questions from anybody? Yep, that's correct.
So just a clarifying question with this. So I was a little torn because it says a player should not be able to participate. If he was already approved to return to play for the symptoms of concussion, and before he returns, he's supposed to be evaluated. So that means he was already evaluated, and then saying he's still showing signs. So does that make sense?
Yes, it does. So if that happens, you know, let's say, you know, you send him off, he gets evaluated. Remember, the head coach is responsible for it. The player comes in back in the game and they show that, you know, maybe they're a little wobbly, or you're just giving some indication that you think this kid is still, you know, he might be concussed. It's the head coach's responsibility. All you need to do is resend him off. Just send him off again. Say, coach, he's still a little wobbly. You know, whatever, you know, when I talk with him, his eyes are glassy, whatever you want to say. Just, I still think I think he's got a concussion. Can you please reevaluate him? It's up to his responsibility. He has to, it's the head coach that has a responsibility for, you know, bringing him in the game or not in the game. Any questions?
One guy knows this, another gal.
Okay.
Movies guy.
Is it Iana? Is that how you pronounce it?
Pop culture is the one that actually will win you the game every single time.
Are you there? Did I lose her? I might have lost her. She's gone here before. Okay. How about Ken?
Always makes me think of.
I'm struggling with video right now. You're gonna have to pass me by. I'm sorry.
Do you have your test in front of you?
Only a small version of it. I can't get the full screen on.
Oh,
So I did
did you print out the test that she gave you?
I did not.
Okay.
So I'll be around.
All right,
wait a minute.
we're gonna give you the hard one then.
Okay. I can feel the pressure. I'll try my best.
Okay, how about?
Okay, wait.
We got
We're
it,
on
we
it.
got
What player? What are we on?
You're on number 4.
Okay, Team A is ahead 52-10 in the third quarter. A1 fouls B1 while B1 is in the act of shooting. The game clock should be stopped. A, when the official blows the whistle for a foul. A, as the official is moving to the reporting area. B, as the official is moving to the reporting area. C, when the official reports the foul to the scorer's table. D, when the official reports the number of free throws to be attempted. I think it's A.
Okay. Anybody agree, disagree?
I would like to politely disagree.
I would like to disagree as well.
Okay, bring it on. You don't have to be polite with me. I'm okay with that.
I thought it was
Which-
D.
You thought it was D?
Yes, yes, because they're up by more than 40 points.
Okay. Does everybody else agree?
I thought it was C.
You thought it was C?
Yeah.
That's okay. So in your book, it's again in that same section on the Washington rule exceptions. When a team is up by more than 40 points, 40 or more points in the third quarter, the clock stops when the official tells the table the number of free throws to be attempted. So there could be a foul and you stop the game and you blow your whistle and there's a foul. But at that point, no one still really knows if you're going to shoot or not, because you could have a common foul. So when you go to the table and you say white 21 push, and you put your hand up and you say 2 shots, that's when you stop the clock. All right, because until the table knows for sure when you're shooting, then they stop it. Okay, so the correct answer is D, number 4. Let's see, Daryl, number 5.
All right, Team A is ahead 50-10 at halftime. Team B starts the third quarter with a throw in and immediately scores a field goal. Officials allow the clock to stop on all whistles. Correct.
Okay. Anybody else? It's a 50-50 question, guys.
Incorrect.
Incorrect?
I will
Yeah, I wrote
disagree
incorrect.
as well.
Okay. So the rule is, if a team is up by 40 points or more in the second half, so right now the spread is 40 points, correct?
Yes.
So now we're at halftime. The game starts on the throw-in. He throws it in, the ball's touch. It's 40 points now in the third quarter in the second half. So he scores, it's now 38, but it still doesn't matter. You started off the second half and the score was 40 points or more. And that's what the rule is in Washington State. Okay? So even though it's 38 right away, you started off at 40. So even though it goes down, it can go all the way down to 2 and it's still a running clock, except for free throws and timeouts.
Oh.
Okay? There's no way they can get it back to a regular stop time game on the, for out of bounds and that type of thing. Any questions on that? Okay, let's go number 6.
So wait, just to clarify, that was the incorrect procedure, right? Answer B.
The answer on number 5 is B, as in
Okay.
boy.
Cool.
Number 6.
So once it hits 40 in the second half, then it runs, except unless it's a free throw.
Except for 3 throws and timeouts, yes.
Okay, so if it gets down to, okay, all right,
If
interesting.
it gets down to 1, it doesn't matter. It's the
Okay.
running clock.
All right.
Okay. Number 6, how about Chris?
Yeah. A1 loses control of their dribble, and during the loose ball, B1 is whistled for a kicking violation. Excuse me, with 17 seconds remaining on the shot clock. What is the procedure for the shot clock? I said D, reset to 35 seconds for boys and 30 seconds for girls basketball.
Okay. Anybody else?
I said C because both boys and girls are at the same amount in their shot clocks this year.
Okay. Anybody else?
I said B, reset the shot clock to 20 seconds.
Well, that's interesting. The correct answer is C. In high school, last year, they changed the boys and girls shot clock to 30 seconds. Again, that's in the WIA, and it's also in the clinic that you take online. Somebody said, go ahead.
I was going to say, when I look in the mechanics book, I mean, it says use a 30-second shot clock for girls and a 35-second shot clock for boys.
Yep. In the mechanics book is 2 years old. They changed it last year.
Okay.
You're not going to know that one until you take the online clinic. It's 30 seconds for both boys and girls.
No.
We don't do the reset to 20 seconds. I think they do that in college. But this is high school, so we don't do that.
Yeah, that's a high school and an MBA thing. You only get a partial reset, but yeah.
College and NBA thing.
Yeah, that's what I meant. College and MBA. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry.
Okay. Let's see. That was number 6. How about NIM? Is it NIM?
Yeah, Nimit.
Okay, you got number 7.
Okay, with the alternating possession arrow favoring team A and 14 seconds remaining on the shot clock, A1's try for goal lodges between the backboard and the ring. The shot clock should I wrote A.
Okay.
Can you read A? Because I'm just driving. I can't see it.
The shot clock should not be reset. It should still just remain at 14.
And I'm going to apologize here because we never talked about the shot clock. So these guys would have had to look all this stuff up about the shot clock. So
It's okay. Anybody else?
I think it's C.
2.
Yeah, I put C as well because the ball did hit the rim, therefore the shot clock should automatically reset.
Okay, why do you say hit the rim?
Because it says it lodges between the backboard and the ring. So I assume the ring is the rim. That's
Right.
it was just an assumption that I made.
Very good. That's number 7 is C. Because for it to lodge between the backboard and the ring, it has to hit the rim, right? Because the rim is the ring. So it does reset. Whenever the ball touches the rim, the ball resets to 30 seconds on boys and girls. All right, that's pretty good. Usually a lot of people miss this question because of that. So the correct answer is C. Okay, let's see here. I don't see a Dan. Did Dan leave us? Yep. Is there a Trish? No, it looks like Trish might have left us too. Alston. Number 8. Are you there, Alston? Okay, he's there, but he's not listening. So how about Marlon? Did we lose Marlon too?
I'm here.
Oh, I see you. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Marlon. You got number 8.
Okay, the shot clock operator should stop the device and continue time without resetting the shot clock when play begins after D.
Is that a confident D or is that a guess D?
Both.
Okay. Anybody else?
All of the above. Anytime the
Yeah.
offense has participated in any kind of violation or foul, you don't reset.
Okay. Anybody else?
Nah, that was my guess too.
Okay. The correct answer is D, all the above. It is called, it's the assumption of play.
Oh, shoot.
Hey, when?
Where did this line come on my screen? That was weird.
It looked like someone was annotating over it.
Okay, it was not me.
It might have been me because I tried to unmute myself and I brought up some weird settings that I just got rid of. So it's probably me.
All right. Okay, so number 8 is D. So Peyton, since you spoke up, how about number 9? Let me bring it up here.
Hi, Kevin. How you doing?
I'm good. Good to hear from you.
Just trying to learn something.
All right.
Fouled by B1. It is teams B's 5th foul. A1 is erroneously awarded bonus free throws during his first try. A2 intentionally pushes B1. No foul is called on A2 as A1's free throw goes in the basket. While reporting the foul, the official is notified that the foul by B1 was only team B's 6th foul. Therefore, no bonus free throws. So we're going to C, cancel the successful free throw. Award 2 free throws to B. We're going to clear the lane and let B shoot his free throws and then give the ball to B from the spot nearest the foul, which would probably be the end line under the basket.
Okay. You guys agree, disagree?
That was my answer as well.
Anybody else? Anybody for A, B, D? You said C, right, Peyton?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Charlie.
Nobody else? Any opinions? Okay, so this is, can somebody tell me, this might be a little advanced for you guys, but can somebody tell me what rule this is or what this applies to?
Well, it says rule 2-10-4 down the bottom right-hand corner. So
what is that?
Correctable errors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a definite, this is one of the examples that falls under the requirements for a correctable error. So in this case, the first free throw is correctable because we're in that frame of the correctable error. And when you look at your book for 210-4, there's a section on correctable errors and there's a little box and it tells you about that. It's kind of hard to explain it over a Zoom call, but take a look at that. This question, if you take a look at this again and read it in respect to the correctable errors for 210-4, and then it should make a little more sense. Okay. All right. So but the correct answer is C. Okay, so Austin, I'm still waiting for you. Are you there? Okay, so we'll go back to we'll go back up. So number 10, let's go Tam, let's start with you again. Let me bring it up, hang on. You're muted, Tim.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'm muting myself. All right, so A3 has committed their 5th foul. However, the table crew fails to notify the officials for several minutes. During the time that A3 has played, A3 has scored 4 points. The officials are then notified that A3 has been playing with 5 fouls. What do you do? So A, the official notifies the head coach of the disqualification, and A3 must be substituted for within a 15-second interview. An official directs scorekeepers A3 points stand. B is official notifies the head coach of the disqualification. A3 must be substituted within a 15-second interview, and official directs the scorekeeper to cancel A3's points. Charlie is official assesses a technical foul to A3. Official notifies the head coach of the disqualification. A3 must be substituted for within a 15-second interview, and official directs scorekeeper to A3 points stand. Or Delta, official assesses a technical foul to team A head coach. Official notifies the head coach of disqualification. A3 must be substituted for within a 15-second interval, and the official directs scorekeepers at A3 points stand. The answer I chose was Alpha. Official notifies the head coach of the disqualification. A3 must be substituted for within 15 seconds, and the A3's points stand.
Everybody agree, disagree?
I agree.
I agree.
Do too.
That was a layup. That was a layup.
Thanks, team. Thanks for agreeing with me. I appreciate the love.
Okay, yeah, the correct answer is A. All right. Number 11. Let's see. Who do we got here? How about Chris again, number 11?
Yeah. A1 commits their 5th foul. Official notifies coach, has timer start the 15-second replacement interval by sounding the horn, and then notifies A1 they are disqualified. Coach brings the team together for a quick huddle. Timer sounds horn, ending the 15-second replacement interval. Coach then sends A6 to table to replace A1. So there is A, the officials charge a team technical foul to team A, or B, official charges a direct technical foul to team A head coach. C, official charges an indirect technical foul to team A head coach, or D, official beckons A6 onto the court with no penalty. And I said D.
Okay. Anybody else?
I
had B, direct technical to the coach.
I did too, JQ.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, the correct answer, and I say this technically, is B. So when that second horn gets off, there should be somebody already at the table. All right. I will tell you in practicality that Stacy and I have never done this so long as I see a body moving when that horn comes off. All right. If the player is heading to the table, I'm not going to ding the coach. Now, if the horn goes off and you're looking over there, and you got to remember before the 15-second goes off, you're reminded, coach, we need a sub. Coach, we need a sub. He ignores you, and at 15 seconds, there's no movement. Then I'm gonna tee the coach because he's had warnings. I'm giving him a little benefit of the doubt. Like I said, he doesn't have to be there exactly. So a little common sense does make, helps. But when the horn goes off and you don't see a body moving coming to the table, then he's taking advantage of it. So you can just go ahead and tee him at that point. So the correct answer is B as in boy.
Kevin, could you do a quick, just what's the difference between a team? I mean, direct technical makes sense to me, but what's a team technical and what's an indirect technical?
A direct technical goes direct to the head coach.
When the coach does something worthy of a technical.
Right.
And
And
what's a team?
a team technical, I'm trying to think of an example of a team tech.
If the bench was out of hand, would that be an example?
No, that's a technical on the bench.
Well, it's a technical of the bench, but that's going to go as an indirect to the head coach.
Okay.
I don't think Stacy, there's no definition of a team technical, is there? I don't think so.
You know, if there's a couple warnings, like somebody sticks their arm through the end line and so you warn them on a throw in.
Oh yeah,
then
okay.
Different players sticks their arm through, it can't go to that player because two different
Right.
players are involved, so it's a team technical.
That's
And there's a
team
few of them
technical.
listed in Rule 10. You just have to see, but they're kind of oddball technicals. They're not the technicals that you think about, you know, when you think
Yeah.
about misbehavior and stuff like that.
So what Stacy is referring to is for delay of game warnings, like when a player breaks the plane on a throw in, you give them a warning the first time. If it happens a second time, it's a team technical. So that'd be one. Yeah, thanks for Stacy, because I don't even think about those, because the only T's you think about are the ones you give to the coaches and the players.
There's just a few. Just look in Rule 10. Most of them you're not going to call very often. And then an indirect, you want to explain that one?
An indirect, I'm trying to give an example that makes the most sense for everybody to understand.
Somebody on the bench does something stupid,
Yeah.
cusses at you.
Yeah. So the coach is responsible for bench players. All right. So, you know, let's say number 10 sitting on the end of the bench, you know, says something to you that you find offensive, whatever, and you decide to tee. You call it's a bench tee, but that's considered an indirect to the coach. The coach is responsible for the bench, but you're not giving it to him directly because he wasn't the one directing it to you. And the difference is a coach gets 2 indirects and a direct before he's ejected. Or he can get 2 directs and is ejected. So it's important to know the difference, because if you think about, well, he just got 2 T's, well, was it a direct or was it an indirect? Because if it's an indirect, he's actually allowed 3, so to speak. So that's why it's important if it's an indirect or a direct technical foul.
And do you have your boss's number, just so I can?
So Ken, if you have any more questions on that, feel free to reach out and we can discuss that in a little bit more. So that was number 11. Number 12. I see we have a Jacqueline that just showed up. Are you there, Jacqueline? Hello? Jacqueline, are you there?
Yeah, sorry, I was helping my kid with something. What do you need?
Are you just joining us, right?
Yeah, I got in late. I was running practice for my soccer team.
Okay, so do you have access to the test, or can you see the screen?
Yeah, I've already written all my answers down. Are we talking about number 12?
Yep. So read the question out loud and then give us your answer.
Sure. Scoreboard shows Team A ahead 61-60 when the audible signal goes off to end the 4th quarter. R and U1 have left the visual confines of the court. However, U2 is slow getting off the court as the scorekeeper gets his or her attention and notifies U2 that the scoreboard is incorrect and that the game is tied 60-60. U2 tells scorekeeper it's too late to correct the score and R has already left the visual confines of the court. Is it the correct procedure or B, the incorrect procedure? I had B, incorrect, because the rules stated if the game's only final when all officials have left the field or left the court.
Does everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's correct. Okay, we'll go to number 13 and let's see, Kelsey.
For the contest, both coaches verify that their teams are legally equipped. In the 3rd quarter, A1 is discovered wearing jewelry, which is correct. A1 is required to leave the game. A1 can stay in the game if jewelry can be removed in 15 seconds. A1 can stay in the game if coach just uses a timeout, or A1 is required to leave the game. Head coach receives a direct technical foul. I said D, A1 is required to leave the game. Head coach receives Direct technical foul.
Okay. Anybody else?
I had the same as Kelsey.
Yeah, I stand by Kelsey.
Okay. Everybody agrees with Kelsey? All right. Kelsey, you're wrong.
It's C, isn't it?
It's A.
Who said A?
Marlon.
Marlon. Yeah, the correct answer is A. So,
Kevin,
yes.
if I may, can you clarify that? Because the coach is certified that all players are legally equipped. And if they're wearing a bad jersey when they go in, that's illegal equipment, and the coach gets a technical. If they're wearing jewelry, that's illegal equipment. The coach should get a technical. And my interpretation of the rule, by the way, I got this wrong last year, is that it should be D. Why isn't it D?
Because in the rule book, it tells you that all you need to do is remove them from the game. There's
And
no
then-
penalty for jewelry in the rule book. They're not allowed to participate.
But the
I
same
understand what
penalty
you're
for
saying.
a
I understand
jersey,
I understand what you're saying. But in the rule book, it specifically states if they're wearing jewelry, they're just asked to leave.
Can you cite that rule for me? Because I looked up the references on this one and I agree with what Peyton was saying.
I can find it, but I may not be able to find it quickly. So let's go on and I will come back to that. I'm going to write it down, number 13. And I will look for that. Let's see, let's see, who do we got here? Ken, how about number 14?
Okay. I'm 0 first, so I need a little luck. All right. During the game, one official hears a fan using language that is inappropriate towards his/her partner or an opposing player. The proper procedure, according to the WOA and the WIA, would be A, stop the game and talk to the fan. No, stop the game and tell the game management supervisor to remove the fan immediately before the game can be restarted. C, tell the home team coach to take care of the situation. D, at the first dead ball opportunity, alert the game management supervisor what happened, who was involved, and ask them to take care of the fan. My hunch is that I know there's a right answer, but it would depend a little bit on the inappropriateness of what's happening. I would say it's going to be B or D, and I would lean towards D unless it was something outrageous, and then I would lean towards B. But that's where. So I don't know. I'd be at B or D. I can't. Someone's got to help. I need an assist.
He wanna phone a friend.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
It's D.
It is D.
Does everybody agree with them?
I also had D.
Okay. Yeah, and when you get something like this, a fan or, for that matter, anybody else in the game that's not a player or a coach, if they're doing something that's out of line or something that's offensive or whatever you think is, they shouldn't be doing, just contact game management. That's their responsibility to deal with it. All right. It's not your responsibility. Just get the game management on a dead ball, point them out, to the person, to the game manager, and let the game management take care of it. Okay. So it is D. Number 15, let's see, who do we got here? How about Daryl, number 15? Let me bring it up a little bit easier. There we go.
All right, A1 fouls B1. It's A1's fifth foul. The officials report the foul and is notified by the scorer that A1 is disqualified. In order, the official properly notifies the coach, has timers start the 15-second replacement interval by sounding horn, and then notifies A1 they are disqualified. At what point does the player become bench personnel? A, when the fifth foul is initially reported to the scores table. B, when the coach is notified. C, when the timer starts, 15-second replacement interval. Or D, when the player is notified. I said B, when the coach is notified.
Okay. Do we agree, disagree?
I agree.
I agree. I'm on Daryl's side.
Anybody else?
I agree as well.
Okay, the correct answer is, see, that was number 15, right? I lost track of where we're at. Yeah, when the coach is notified. Okay. Let's see. 16. Chris.
A1
16.
fouls B1. It is team A's 7th team foul. Before the first free throw, A2 substitutes for A1. After the second free throw is successful, the scorer sounds the horn and A1 checks in for A3. So there is either the substitution is legal, A1 can only substitute for A2, A1 is not allowed to substitute, A1 will be allowed to enter the game at the next opportunity after the clock has run, or D, a technical foul on A1 for attempting an illegal substitution. And I said C.
Anybody else? And do we agree with the reasoning that they put down on the test? Do you guys agree with the reasoning?
Yes.
Yep.
I agree.
concur.
Yep, me
Yep.
too.
Basically, if you sub out, you can't come back in until the clock clicks off 1 second. That's pretty basic. All right, number 17, Nim, 17.
A1 is injured on the court. The coach for team A is beckoned onto the court to tend to the player. But before the coach comes onto the court, A1 responds immediately and is able to continue. Which of the following statements are true? A1 may remain in the game because the coach didn't come onto the court and A1 is immediately ready to play. A1 must leave the court. A1 may stay in the game if A1 uses a 60-second timeout and A1 is ready at the end. A1 may stay in the game if A uses a 30-second timeout and A1 is ready at the end. I put D for this one.
Okay. Anybody else agree?
I had A here because Article 6 there says that the coach was beckoned and comes onto the court, and this question says that the coach didn't come onto the court yet.
Okay.
I agree.
All right. The correct answer on that is A. And that the reason is exactly as it was stated. If you stop the game for a player and you beckon the coach and the coach doesn't come on and the player just jumps up right away and says, oh, I'm good. That's good enough. As long as they don't come onto the court and A1 is immediately ready to play, they can just continue on. The minute the coach or a trainer comes onto the court, then that player has to come out. Even if they're fine, they have to come out for 1 tick. Okay? All right.
Can
Go ahead.
Okay, but can you get around that if the coach calls a timeout?
Yes. You can use a timeout.
It doesn't matter whether it's 30 or 60. So if the coach did come on, B, C, and D would all be true.
You can buy the kid to get back in the game if the coach calls a timeout.
Okay.
Yep. You can do that. They have to be ready to come back on when the timeout's over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Number 18, let's go to I can't give this one to Peyton. It's too easy. Marlon, 18.
Team A jerseys have a sublimated team mascot on torso. Jersey is B, illegal.
Okay. Anybody disagree? That's a pretty basic rule. Does anybody know what sublimated means?
No.
All right. I
It
can't
means it's
explain.
like not stitched on, basically, right? Like it's basically printed into the fabric itself.
You know, it's usually, I can't even explain it, you know, because well, we usually do this in person. There's a picture on the wall that's sublimated and it's perfect. I can show people what it means. Basically, it's kind of like, you know, you've seen screens where the screen is real solid and then there's a little background screen on the back, you know, on the shirt. It's kind of lighter than, and it's not part of the other screen. That's what sublimated is. And it's really hard to explain on a Zoom call. But
The root word of that is a subliminal.
yeah.
So it's like a message within a message.
Yeah, so if you look on this, it's not part of the main design of the shirt or the logo. All right. So it's really hard to explain on a Zoom call.
All right,
Okay.
Kevin. So the jersey's illegal. Then what do you do? So now you have 12 guys with illegal jerseys, or 12 girls, and they can't wear them.
What you do, what you do practically is you let them play, and you let our assigner know that hey, their jerseys are illegal. In some cases, what they've done is they will go to the WOA and say, hey, we've already bought our jerseys for the season. It's too late to get new ones, and they'll get a waiver for it.
All right.
That's what you do.
Okay.
Direct coach.
Yeah.
Right, Kevin?
Say that again.
Direct technical to the coach.
It is a direct technical for the coach if for an illegal jersey for the team. I've only done that once because the coach is technically responsible for their jerseys, but I've only done that once, and it was in a playoff game. And the team was told that they had to wear white jerseys because they were the home team. And of course, what happens? The coach just ignores it, and they show up in their dark jerseys. So we had to assess a direct technical to the coach for illegal jerseys, and then we played on.
So you had two dark jersey teams.
We had two. We had a black and a dark green. You want to try to officiate that game in a playoff atmosphere? It was not easy. We got it done, but it wasn't easy. Okay, that was number 18. So let's see, Peyton, number 19.
Thanks. By the way, sublimated for an official's jersey definition. Sublimated official's jersey means you have to spend $15 more for the jersey because it's got all that fancy printing on it.
Yep.
Just thought I'd throw that out there.
Okay, 19.
During warm-ups, the crew observes all players from Team B having their waistbands rolled, exposing the drawstrings. What can be done to remedy this problem? Waistband twice, you can unroll the waistband or you can tuck the drawstring inside the shorts. Basically what you're doing is eliminating a safety hazard. So the answer is D, all of the above.
The answer is D, all the above. And this happened 2 years ago.
We hate rolled.
Yeah, now they don't care. Right? You still can't have the string showing. They have to, either tuck that away or they can roll it. But the rolling of the shorts now, they roll the waistbands. They changed that so that we allow it now. As long as the string isn't hanging out, that's the biggest thing. Okay, so it's 19. Okay.
It also
Um,
matter, hey, Kevin, doesn't it also matter if they have a bunch of trademarks? If they roll their shorts over and there's like Under Armour 12 times around, they can't do that. They gotta roll again or unroll.
that's
Isn't it?
right. You can't have trademarks of the shorts showing. You know, that's a fashion police thing. You know, all of us officials, you know, we get into discussions about that, but technically when they roll their shorts, you know, if you see the Under Armour thing on the waistband showing, then they have to roll it again or unroll it. Let's circle back real quickly. You guys wanted to know about the somebody wearing jewelry. What do we do? Do we take them out and no technical foul? So in your case book, it's case 245, B as in boy.
2? Is it 2 or 3?
245. Actually, I'm looking in last year's rule book. I'm assuming it's the same thing. I don't know what I did with my rule book for this year. 245. B as in boy.
Yep.
If you read the instruction, if you read it, it talks about.
It's actually A. In this one, it says before the contest, both coaches verify their teams are legally equipped. In the third quarter, A1 is discovered wearing a ring. Ruling: A1 must leave the game and remove the jewelry and may re-enter the game at the next substitution opportunity, but no penalty is assessed against A1 or the coach.
Correct. So it's 245A?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys were wondering about that? Just look it up, 245A. It's in the rule. It's also 245B too.
Yeah,
It's a different one.
Yeah, but A is more specifically about jewelry.
Yeah. Well, the other one's about a tongue ring,
Oh,
a tongue
okay.
stud. So, okay, let's see. That was 19, I believe. Let's go to number 20. And let's see. Jacqueline, number 20.
Team A is wearing predominantly white jerseys with green numbers and are wearing green pre-wrap as headbands. Which of the following is correct? I had D. The pre-wrap is considered a headband, but green headband does not meet the color restrictions. Therefore, they are illegal. Because
Okay.
green is not their predominant color. They're wearing white.
Okay. You guys agree with that? Tell me, what other colors can it be?
I think the rule book said white, black, or beige.
Correct. Or the predominant color of their jerseys.
Yeah, because I put C as well because they can only wear white. So I didn't put D, I put C. I think
Oh,
both
they can
C
wear-
and D are correct.
You can wear white, black, beige, or predominant color of their jerseys. So in this case, pre-wrap is considered a headband, which they're allowed to wear, but because it's green, they cannot wear it. Okay.
And I also saw in there that all the headbands have to match for a team, right? So one guy can't wear white and another guy on the same team wearing black.
That is correct.
Okay.
Don't get too picky on that. Sometimes people wear like black pre-wrap around their heads and it looks kind of grayish, whitish, and then somebody else is wearing a black one. They're just black.
Yeah, don't split hairs, so to speak. Okay. Let's see, we're on 21. Tam.
All right, 21. After obtaining an initial legal guarding position, which of the following is illegal for the guard to do? Turn duck to observe shock of imminent contact, be moving laterally or obliquely so long as it is not towards the opponent when contact occurs, raise hands or jump vertically, or D, extend their leg toward the opponent and initiate contact. This was a tough one, but I chose Delta, extend their leg toward the opponent and initiate contact.
Okay. Anybody else agree or disagree?
I agree.
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 Okay. So legal guarding position is very, very important. So when you're going through the rule book, as we said, you know, in the definitions of legal guarding position, please understand that rule. And that's going to save you a ton of consternation and also ridicule during the game if you understand what legal guarding position is. So as you're reading your rule book, go back to that section and look at this question again. It specifically states everything that you're reading. It's very important. So know that one very well. All right. So 21 is D as in Delta. All right. Chris, 22.
Dribbler A1 is being guarded by B1. B1 knocks the ball away from A1. While both players are going after the loose ball, A1 fouls B1. Team B is in the bonus. Official has B1 shoot bonus free throws. So it can be correct or incorrect, and I thought that was correct.
A1 is being guarded by B1. B knocks the ball away from A1. Okay. While they're going after the loose ball, A1 fouls B1. Okay. Why do you think it's incorrect? Well, you said it's correct. Why do you think it's correct?
Because basically neither team had control of the ball. So there was no team control set. So it would just be like a regular foul, correct?
Does anybody agree with what he just said or disagree?
I disagreed because I thought it was an interrupted dribble, which means A1 or A team still has control because of the interrupted dribble. And so I had it as would have gone as a player control type of a foul and not shoot the free throws.
What kind of control do they have when it's an interrupted dribble?
Team control.
Okay.
So I guess it would be a team control foul.
Okay. Does anybody agree with that explanation?
Sounds right to me.
Kelsey, what do you think? I'm looking at you and you got that look on your face.
Well, I too said that it was correct, but that was just because I had only stuck to what was going on in Article 5, right? So an interrupted dribble occurs when the ball is loose after deflecting off the dribbler or after it momentarily gets away from the dribbler. There's no player control during interrupted dribble.
Okay.
In my mind, if he's fouling B1, that sounds like something a little bit more intentional in my regard, but that's just because, I mean, maybe it's accidentally, but they're both just hassling over the ball. I don't know.
Okay. So player control means the player has control of the ball, right? They're either holding it or they're dribbling. That's player control. Team control means the ball belongs to team A, right? Team A is passing it around or team A is dribbling, they have the ball. It's considered team control. So a team never loses team control until the other team gets it or gets control. So in this case, team A had team control, the ball becomes loose and A1 fouls B1. So at the point where they foul them, A1 still has team control and it's a team control foul and we don't shoot free throws on a team control foul. Now, you're gonna get coaches that are saying, hey, that's what we should be in bonus because it was a loose ball, there was no control. Well, there's no player control, but there is team control, okay? So the correct answer is B, boy, incorrect. We do not shoot bonus free throws on any team control foul. Okay?
Kevin, could I interrupt you for a minute and go back to, I'm trying in my mind's eye for 21. When I've obtained legal guarding position and then I move laterally, that's legal to do?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they changed the rules since I played and you played.
Oh boy, I can imagine if I was a coach and my kid, and so you could move laterally, and that's legal. All right. I don't know what obliquely means. I don't know what it means to move obliquely. That's above my pay. I don't even know what that means. but
Sideways,
laterally
or
I do.
it's just not towards, anything is okay except towards the player.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Let's see, 23. Let's go to Kelsey. Let me bring it up.
A2 catches a pass from A1. A2 goes to pass the ball back to A1, but A1 turns away from A2 just before A2 releases the ball for the pass. A2 is able to retrieve the ball, but after it bounces several times with no other player touching ball first. The official rules are A, it's a violation of travel, B, it's a violation illegal dribble, or C, legal, it's A2's first dribble. I said it was C, although I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think that's right.
I agree with Kelsey.
Okay.
I also agree. I thought it was C, but I have a question mark because like Kelsey, I wasn't sure.
Okay. So let me tell you a little bit about this test. Sometimes the questions are written in a way that it's probably easier to eliminate the answers. And if you know, it can't be a violation. All right, we already know that. It's just a pass, right? So if you just eliminate violation, it has to be C. But technically, the rule is it is considered legal because they consider that a dribble. It's not your traditional dribble, as you and I would see it, ball going up and down. But they can consider that a dribble because, like, if they push the ball out in front of them, that's considered a dribble. So they'll allude it to sort of that type of thing where it's just similar to a pass. So it's one of those kind of weird questions. C is correct, number 23.
Because you made the pass, and so just to clarify, Kevin, so
Yep.
because A1 didn't touch the ball, but A2 made the pass, it's just like you said, pushing the ball, and because it bounced several times, it's like, hey, I'm pushing the ball up the floor. Okay, I pick up what you're putting down. I got you.
It's a little bit different if whoever made the pass, A2, who made the pass? If she dribbles, picks up her dribble, and then passes the ball, and then she gets it, she's already used her dribble up.
That would be a double dribble.
Yeah. So it's key that she never dribbled it to start with.
But what if she's making the pass with two hands, but you can't dribble with two hands?
Has she dribbled already, or has she not dribbled already?
She has.
She has dribbled, and then she picks up the ball, and then she tries to pass it, and then she goes and retrieves it. That's a double dribble. Because that pass is considered a second dribble.
No, he's asking what happens if they catch the ball and it's a two-handed pass. See, a double dribble, that's not a double dribble because a double dribble doesn't happen until when the ball comes back up and you hit it with two hands. If you can picture that. That's considered a double dribble. You can't
So
dribble.
Kevin and Stacy, if you eliminate sentence 2, so intent doesn't matter. What I hear you saying is essentially when you catch a ball, you could pass it to yourself. If you don't dribble, like the intent doesn't matter. A1 turns away, that's irrelevant. We don't know that. What I hear you saying is if I catch a pass and throw it down the court, I could run and retrieve it, and that's legal.
There's something in the book about figuring out intent, and I'll find it's in the case book. I'll find that. So we'll come back to this, Ken.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
'cause
know.
I don't know anyone's intent. All I see is someone passing to themselves and catching it. That feels illegal to me. That again, I'm old about this, but that would seem like not a legal play that I could pass it, run if it bounces 2 times or 12 times and go catch it and be a legal play.
There's a lot of times where we have to try to discern intent. Like, are you going to call a common foul or are you going to call an intentional foul?
There is something that Stacey's alluding to that I know what she's referring to, where you can't intentionally try to circumvent a rule or something like that.
I'm going to find a case play.
Yeah.
So just move
We'll come
along.
back to that one.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So
Okay,
can
see.
can you self alley-oop?
No. Not in that sense of what you're just telling me.
But what if it's a last minute shot, you just throw it up there and then you go and get it and you dunk it?
That's legal if it's a try.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you,
off the backboard, I've seen that, and they
well, let me ask you
that's
this,
legal.
let me ask you guys this question. If a guy shoots an air ball, can he go get it?
It
Yes.
depends his intent.
Yes, he can.
Try.
That's it's a try.
Right? So that's what you, if you determine that it's a shot, he can rebound his own shot. Now, if you determine that he's passing it to himself and it's not a shot, then you could say, coach, you can't pass to himself. So you have to determine intent to some extent. But if it looks to you like a legitimate shot, he can go get it.
Well, then maybe that's the answer to the pass one. That's what you guys are saying. If it looks like a legitimate pass, you could go get it, rather than if you determine that she's just passing to herself.
No, that's not the same thing.
Huh.
If a player's holding the ball with two hands and lets it go and it bounces twice on the floor and they pick it back up and they haven't dribbled yet, they can still pass it. If you've never dribbled, there's not a double dribble. And that's basically what this is. She gets it with two hands and starts to throw it. The ball bounces. She goes and retrieves it and then passes it. But she's never double dribbled because she never dribbled the second time.
Okay. All right, let's move on. Ken, 24.
Okay. Just to be clear, this hasn't happened in any of my middle school games yet this fall.
Oh, it
A1
will.
dunks over B1 and then taunts B1. B1 retaliates and throws a punch at A1. The ruling is A, both players are issued unsporting technical fouls. A1 is issued an unsporting technical foul and B is issued a flagrant technical. Both are charged with flagrant technicals. D, a warning should be issued. My instincts are that it would be B, that the first one is unsporting and the second one is flagrant.
Okay,
I agree.
Yeah.
you
that's
agree,
fine.
Marlon? Okay, you agree, Daryl? All right.
I do too.
Everybody else agrees?
I had C, both flagrants, because there was something, I can't remember if it was in 418 or the 10-4. One of those talked about
I'm so sick of
taunting.
reffing.
Taunting was a flagrant, like trying to get them to throw a punch at you was considered flagrant.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
I put C. I agree with JQ. I put Charlie as well.
Okay. So the correct answer is C. Both are charged
Okay.
with flagrant technical fouls. The rule is basically this in common terms. If you do something to cause someone to throw a punch or to cause a fight, even though you didn't throw a punch, let's say you called him a name and the guy throws a punch at you and it doesn't have to land, the guy who threw the punch, number one, he's ejected. But the guy who caused it, he's ejected too for flagrant. So if you caused the thing to happen by taunting the person, you go too.
okay.
Well, in today's games, a celebration is considered a taunt.
Well, see, you have to determine intent on that one. I've seen celebrations that I would not call taunting.
Yeah.
You know, when they pop their jerseys in somebody else's face, that could be a taunt.
That's
But
a
if they're
taunt.
just running down the floor and like whooping it up and looking at their team on the bench, I don't know. I got nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one I was looking at was the 18-2, 418-2. It says an attempt to instigate a fight by committing an unsporting act that causes someone to retaliate.
Yep.
Are those references on the test? The reference numbers?
The reference numbers are where you can find it in the rule book.
I know, but when we take the test, are those going to be by the questions?
I will, they
Go ahead,
won't
Kevin.
be, but I'll answer that when we, at the end of this, I'm gonna explain to you guys how to take the test.
Okay.
All right. But to answer to your question quickly, there'll be no reference on the test, like you have it on your paper right now.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But I will talk to you about how to take the test.
All right, cool.
And if you're listening, you should get 100%.
That's true.
Okay, that was 24, 25. Let's try Daryl.
Say, Kevin, I hate to interrupt here, but if I may, this is
Yes.
Peyton. The answer to that last one is unsuccessful. Is it?
Charlie.
It's actually B was correct on last year's test. Same question.
Can't be.
They're wrong. They're wrong.
They're wrong. And I took the test this year already, and the answer is C.
Oh, they changed the answer on the test then. Okay, thanks.
Well, I took the test last year and it was on there again because I keep notes on that.
I take it back everything I said.
Still C. So
sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, Daryl, 25.
A1 drives to the basket, goes airborne, releases ball for a try, and then contacts B1 before landing. The basket is made, double whistled between lead and center. Lead signals block, center signals charge. Oblarge. Correct procedure is A, lead and center get together to decide whose primary call it is, and that official reports only their foul. B, both officials report their foul. Basket is not counted. Throw in awarded to team using AP arrow. Or C, both officials report their foul. Basket is counted, then play resumes. Throw in awarded to team B anywhere along the end line. I would say A.
You're using too much common sense.
What happened in the Husky game the other night? Oh, I could tell you that much.
Okay. Anybody else have a different answer?
I had C only because our last rules meeting, I thought Stacy said that in high school it was a double foul and the basket counted because we had a similar question. Although I don't agree with it, I think the answer is C.
Yes, I agree. I said C as well.
You guys actually trust something that Stacy said to you in a rules clinic?
Yeah, because I had to correct myself, so I know I'm right this time.
Yeah. The correct answer is C.
Wow.
So what happens is this is called Oblarge. And you don't want one of these, especially when you got a basket going into the basket, you're scoring a basket. The technical reasoning behind this is because you have Oblarge, when the defender fouls the offensive player, that negates the rules for a player control foul and a made basket. It's very, very technical. But whenever you have a play, when a guy's driving to the basket, goes airborne, puts it up, and the ball goes in, and now we have contact, and one guy's coming up charged, and one other guy's coming up blocked, and they're both showing, you have Oblarge, and the only way you can correct that is count the basket, count both fouls, and you give the ball to team B because team A scored. Don't have one of these. All right. Stacy in classes talked to you guys about being slow to show. When you have a double whistle, you always want to look at your partner, see what they have. One of you is going up and you're thinking, I got a player control, and the other one is coming up. And you see their arms going to their hips like a block. If they've already shown it, I can guarantee you I'm going to drop it. All right. Because I don't want to get in that scenario where I have I'm calling it one way and you're calling it the other way. So be slow to show, because you can very quickly make a determination with your partner which one of you is going to take the call. if you do this enough, you both come up, and I could see, I can just tell by the emotions of officials of what they're going to call. I might just, you got it, Stacy. Even though I may have something else, because I don't want to come up with something different and have it shown. So that's why always be slow to show. Try to make sure you keep your vision, your partner in your vision somewhere, so you can tell they have a foul. All right. When I say don't let this happen to you, the last state playoff I was in, or it's actually at this state tournament, Manuel, one of our, Stacy and mine, good friends, he was in a game in front of me and he had one of these. And they didn't get it right. And sure enough, my game right after that, we had one too. Usually you don't see one of these, one or two a season. We had two in a matter of 2 games. They didn't get it right. In my case, I told my partner, it wasn't a player control. I said he got pushed from behind and we called it a block. And I basically talked him out of it, and I talked him out of it real quick. So just don't have one of these. It'll come with experience and how to figure it out. All right, 26. Let's go with the other Chris. Are we there, Chris?
Chris with a K.
Chris with a K.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Who's Chris with a K?
It's Gary.
Gary. Yeah, I should have known that. Gary, Chris, they're about the same.
Yeah. Well,
I only go with the name that's on the thing, so.
Okay, Gary.
okay, B1 gets a stationary position near the end line with 1 foot on the end line. Dribbler A then charges into B1. The official rules a player control foul. A correct, B incorrect. I say A is correct. He had a legal guarding position.
Okay. This is the easiest question in the whole test, man. I tell you. You guys agree with him?
I don't, because it wasn't in bounds.
Why do you say that?
It says his foot was on the end line, so he's out of bounds.
And
I agree with
is what?
Kelsey. I didn't think he had legal guarding position established because he was out of bounds.
Yes,
Is that
I
the
said
rule?
this.
Hey,
I
said
thought
the
the
same as
rules
well.
I see
were-
an aspiring official behind you, JQ.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so the legal guarding position I thought was 2 feet on the ground, in bounds, torso facing. You established your position, and he wasn't in position because 1 foot was out of bounds.
I
So
agree with Jacqueline. Yeah.
I said this was the easiest question on the test. And the answer is B, it's incorrect. Yes, the explanation you guys gave is very right, is very correct. You have to have 2 feet in bounds. So if you're standing on the in line, by definition, you are out of bounds. Okay? Does that make sense, Gary?
Yep.
Yep, try to trick you a little bit there. 27, Nim.
Team A requests a timeout. At the conclusion of the timeout, as teams are returning to the court, A1 curses at the game officials. Should it be a technical on A1? Technical counts as a team foul. Technical counts as 1 towards disqualification. And this one is D, all of them.
Yep, pretty basic.
That might be the easiest question on the test.
It might be. Okay, 28. Let's see. Marlon.
On a designated spot throw-in, the thrower may jump, pivot, or shuffle their feet as long as a foot is kept on above the 3-foot area. The thrower must keep 1 foot on or over the spot until the ball is released. A, correct.
Okay. So let me ask a question. Can you travel on a throw-in?
No.
Not anymore.
Anybody?
No.
Changed all these rules. Back in the day, you could travel on that.
Yes.
So yeah, the answer on number 28 is A. It is correct. As long as you're above the spot where you designate the throw-in, they can shuffle their feet a little bit. That's fine. Okay. That was 28. Let's go 29, Peyton.
Sorry, had to unmute.
All right.
Coach has given an official warning for unsporting behavior in the first quarter. The third quarter, the official blows a whistle for a violation because A1 reaches through the plane during the throw-in by Team B. They're different scenarios. One's unsporting behavior, the other one is delay of game. So we would have B, delay of game warning on Team A.
Yep, that's correct. Any questions, anybody? So the warning for the coach is different than a delay of game for the players. Okay. Let's see, number 30. Let's go back up to Tam. Bring that up. Okay.
Tim,
My bad. Okay. A1's try for a goal is within the basket as A2. In an attempt to rebound, the ball unintentionally grabs the nets. The official rules: A, cancel the basket, goaltending, count the basket, ignore grabbing of the net, play on, cancel the basket, basket interference, cancel the basket, administration, technical foul for grabbing the net. And I put C, cancel the basket for basket interference.
Questions, anyone? Different answer? Yeah, that's a pretty basic question for basket interference. So that is correct, C. 31, the other Chris, not Gary. Let me bring it up. Hang on. If
we
you
have
don't
a
have it.
C Chris and a K Chris.
Yeah. 31, Chris.
31. The coach of Team A wants a timeout for a correctable error. Team A has no more timeouts remaining. The official denies the timeout request by the Team A coach. I put improper procedure.
You sound so confident. Come on, be wrong, be strong, sound confident.
Well, yeah, so I said improper procedure because wouldn't they get a technical? For
Anybody want to help him out?
So,
I also had improper, but only because the rule talks about that the scorer should signal to grant the coach's request for the correctable error. So because it's a correctable error, he's not really calling a timeout for his team, is what I read it as. But I could be wrong.
I also put improper procedure too, because even though the coach of Team A doesn't have any timeouts left, if he gets a technical foul, he can still get a timeout. It'll be a technical foul for the timeout. And that's what I read it as well.
Okay. So let me explain this one a little bit. I think you're all kind of dancing around it a little bit, and that's okay. So let's assume he has a timeout. All right. Coach goes to the table and says, I have a correctable error. All right. And the table signals the officials, they stop the game, he comes over and the coach says, I have a correctable error. The officials discuss it, and if the error is correctable, let's say he is correct, the coach is correct, and we have a correctable error, we fix it, and then we play on. No timeout charged. If we come over there and we investigate and we determine that, coach, you're incorrect, there is no correctable error. Now we charge him a timeout. okay? Because he stopped the game for a correctable error and there wasn't, so he gets charged for a timeout, okay? Now we go in this scenario, coach goes to the table, he has no timeouts, and the table buzzes the horn, officials come over, you can see, he's not requesting a timeout, he's requesting you to fix a correctable error. So you do the same thing as you do regardless if he has a timeout or not. You determine that if it was correctable, you fix it, we play on. If it's not correctable, we charge him a timeout. Well, we can't charge him a timeout if he doesn't have a timeout. So we give him a technical foul. But we don't deny him the correctable error. You know, we have to look into it if he requests it. So we can't say, no, coach, we can't discuss your correctable error because you have no timeouts. All right. So the correct answer is B, it's improper. You don't deny the timeout request. It's not a timeout request, it's a correctable error request.
And you know, that goes just for timeouts at the end of a game. Coach forgets how many timeouts he has, or a player.
Right.
They have no timeouts left. They call a timeout. You got to give it to them. They're going to get a T, but you got to give it to them.
Right. Okay. So that was 24. No, excuse me, that was 31. Let's see. Oh my God, this is a gimme. Who do I want to give this one to? We'll go ahead and give it to Kelsey. She's had some tough ones. We'll give her the easy one.
All right.
32.
Okay, 32.
You want to get one shot at this.
The clock is started on a jump ball. A, when the referee tosses the ball, when one of the jumpers legally touches the ball, when one of the non-jumpers touches the ball, or when one of the non-jumpers secures control of the ball. And I said it was when one of the non-jumpers touches the ball.
Okay. You guys agree? Easiest question on the one in the book.
You've said that already, Kevin. We don't believe you anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've said that 3 times now.
When does the ball become live?
Yeah, I agree.
In this scenario, on a jump ball, when does the ball become live?
I think it's when the official releases
Tosses
the
it.
ball and it's
Yeah.
coming down from the arc.
As soon as the official tosses the ball, then
That's when it becomes live.
and it's live. So when does the clock start?
Like Kelsey said, when the jumper touches it.
No, she didn't say that.
When
She
the
I
said
said when the
non-jumper
non-jumpers touch the ball. But in that case, it would be when one of the non-jumpers secures control of the ball. So technically the answer would be D, wouldn't it?
You're talking yourself into a deeper hole.
Uh-oh.
Marlon, are you still there? When does the clock
Yes,
start?
ma'am.
She's
I
basically trying to
say-
tell you the answer.
I said B.
Amen.
Yeah, because if a jumper touches the ball and knocks it out of bounds, or it rolls along the way and goes all the way to the end line, let's say it takes 4 seconds and no one touches it, I don't think the clock would still be at 8 minutes, right? The clock would be at whatever it is, the time it took to roll to the end line.
Yeah, the clock starts when one of the jumper legally
Yeah.
touches the ball.
They're not
Kelsey,
gonna
I
tell
gave you
anymore.
the gimme. Okay. 33. Ken.
And I'm going to assume this is the hardest one to date. So if I get it wrong, I don't feel so bad about myself. Game is tied 61 all when fourth quarter ends. As players are going to the bench, Team A head coach berates officials for not calling a travel at the end of the game. Officials call technical foul on Team A head coach. A, Team B will shoot free throws prior to the start of overtime. If either free throw is made, game is over. B, Team B will shoot free throws to start overtime. Afterwards, Team B will get the ball for a division line throw-in opposite the table. Arrow will be set to team A when the ball is handed to B1 for throw-in. C, team B will shoot free throws to start overtime. After the free throws, jump ball will be administered. That's
Phone a friend.
Come on, guys. Gals.
I had B.
I would go with B.
I also
would be
had
my
B.
instinct.
I had B as well.
Okay. So Jacqueline, you sound very convincing. You're going to tell me why.
Because the quarter was over, the game was tied, and the technical is what starts overtime. And so you shoot the free throws, and team B gets the ball opposite the table, and the ball's handed in, and the AP arrow is set to team A.
What happens if the score was 61-60 and the team that's going to shoot the free throws has 60?
So if the score wasn't tied and there wasn't already overtime, and the team that was behind could go ahead, then you would shoot the free throws before the game was technically over.
And what happens if they make both of them?
You said if they were down one, so if they made both, then that team would win and the game would be over.
You guys agree with that explanation?
Yes.
Yep, that's very good. That's correct.
Yeah, that was good.
I said Jackie is ready.
She's a rules all-star, man. She and Mike Lloyd are gonna fight it out.
That's what happens when you play 4 years of college basketball. They get hammered into you.
Not all of them. Only the smart players really learn the rules.
Daryl, 34.
All right. The referee is prepared to toss the ball to start the game. As the referee is ready, and until the ball is tossed, which of the following is not a violation? A, B1 is initially on the center restraining circle and changes position on the circle. B1 is not on the center restraining circle and moves to another position on the court outside the center restraining circle. B1 is not on the center restraining circle and moves into the center restraining circle. Wait, which one is false? B.
B is not a violation, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. You guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah, that is
Yes.
correct. It is B, it is correct. Somebody tell me the rule. Related to B1, what's the rule?
B1 can be in the circle, but can't change position. And he can't come into the circle, but he can leave the circle.
I don't think you could leave it, right? Once you're in it, you're stuck.
The rule didn't say anything about you can't leave. It just said you can't change position. And if you're not there, you can't come in.
Can't enter.
So if you're on the restraining circle, the official moves in for to toss the ball, you could move out. When
Yes.
I'm about to throw what I've been doing is saying, hold your spots. And when I move in there, it's hold your spots.
That that's only applies to the people in the center circle.
But not the people around it.
People on the outside can move.
It's a misconception. It's kind of like on a technical free throw, people think that everybody has to stand behind the half court line, and that's not true either.
Yeah.
But I digress.
So if you're on the restraining circle, there's no, you could move. Unless you're one of the two that are jumping. Is what I hear you saying.
No, you can't, JQ was right. You can't come onto the circle and you can't take another position on the circle if you're already there, but you can back away from the circle.
Okay.
Okay. 35. Chris with a K or Gary.
Which of the following causes the alternating possession arrow to switch? A, B1 commits a kicking violation prior to the throw-in being legally touched. B, A2 is called for a team control foul, illegal screen prior to the throw-in ending. C, A1 commits a 5-second violation prior to releasing the throw-in. D, B4 is called for a common foul for holding A4 prior to the throw-in ending. I'm going to say C, A1 commits a 5-second violation prior to releasing the throw-in.
Everybody agree?
Yes.
Okay. That's correct. Any questions? All right, we'll move on. 36, Nim.
A1 is shooting their last free throw. B1, who is in the marked lane space, steps into the lane prior to A1 releasing the ball on the free throw. While the ball is still in the air, A5, who is not in the marked lane space, breaks the 3-point line and the free throw is missed. The correct ruling is penalize violation by B1 as it occurred first, award A1 another free throw, penalize violation by A5 only because it is a violation by the shooting team, award team B the ball. C, double violation, award ball to team who has arrow. D, ignore violations as they're against both teams. I had A for this one.
Okay, anybody else?
I had C, a double violation.
Okay, anybody else?
I
I'd
put
see
C as
as
double
well.
violation as well.
Okay, so somebody tell me why it's C and not A, or why is A and not C?
I chose A, and I said it because it's something that we went over in our last rules clinic where we were talking about how a double violation may have occurred, but you only violate the first one since it caused the second one to happen. But that was in a case where they were standing next to each other, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you just said on your part, when they're standing next to each other, is correct. But somebody tell me why C is a possibility.
So I have C because one of them is in the lane and the other one is in a different spot. And so what Kelsey was saying, if they were both in the lane, then yes, you would do the first violation, but because they're in different spots, it was treated differently in the rule book.
I also, when I was answering this, thought of since it was B1 who did the first violation, it's a delayed violation, and if they did make it, they would have just no harm, no foul, and it would have happened. But since the other team also committed a violation, they both happened after it missed.
That's 50% right. Can somebody tell me, does the shooter and somebody on the lane line have the same restrictions as far as going into the lane? Does the shooter and somebody in the marked lane space have the same restrictions?
No.
No.
Okay. Does the shooter and somebody outside the 3-point line have the same restrictions?
Yes. They both
Okay.
have to wait till the ball hits the rim, right?
Okay, correct. So now we have a marked lane space violation and a non-shooter violation from outside the 3-point line. What is that?
That's a double violation. There's 2 violations occurring at the same time. Or not simultaneously, but within the same shot.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna answer this in a minute. I'm gonna ask you one more question, somebody. So we have a shooter. A is shooting, B is on a marked lane space. B steps in and the shot is missed. What do we got?
Reshoot.
Reshoot.
Reshoot. Perfect. Okay, same scenario. A is shooting. B steps in. A shoots the ball, airballs it. We're assuming second free throw. What do we got?
You
Throwing
said
from the end line. It's an out of bounds
Yeah,
violation.
B, yeah.
Out of bounds violation to who?
The shooting team.
My brain.
I know everybody's getting a little fried. We got another 15 questions to go.
Okay, so the
Wait, can you
the
say
cor-
that again? That again.
okay. A is shooting. We're assuming a second free throw. A is shooting. B1 steps in early. A shoots an air ball. What do we got?
Reshoot.
Yeah, reshoot.
Yeah, I say reshoot still.
Okay. All right. Well, the answer to that part is you're all wrong. We don't
Oh,
reshoot
man.
that one. Okay. Let me just, here's what I'm trying to get to. Number 36, the correct answer is C. It's a double violation. All right. First of all, if a lane person steps in and if the shooter or somebody on outside of the 3-point line breaks the plane before the ball hits the rim, it is considered a violation. There's a delayed violation on the lane line, but when they step in from the outside or the shooter breaks the plane, it's considered a violation and it's a double violation. Assuming it's the last free throw, then we go to the arrow for possession. In the case of in the case of an air ball on the last free throw, an air ball is considered a violation. So even though he missed the shot because the other guy stepped in early, but because he airballed, it's considered a double violation. And we give the ball to the AP arrow, whoever has the ball in the AP arrow. So all of
Easiest
you
way
that,
to remember is, sorry, Kevin, go ahead.
I was gonna say, for all of you that said he gets to shoot again, I will tell you that 99% of the time I've seen this, they always shot it again. But that's incorrect.
Can I work with Jackie?
Huh?
I said, can I work with Jackie?
We're on it, Marlon. Let's do it.
Hey,
All right.
the easiest way to remember this is the only time you have those delayed violations is when 2 players on the lane that are lined up on the lane line step in, right? Not delayed, I shouldn't say that you only penalize the first one. Any other time when you have somebody on the lane line do something and a shooter or somebody behind the line do something, those are 2 different violations, a double violation. Okay? Simple.
We're real good on time, folks, so don't get nervous. We're real good on time. 37, Marlon.
Okay, after the toss to start the game or overtime period, 2 non-jumpers caused the ball to go out of bounds simultaneously. Proper procedure is I said re-jump with the original jumpers at center circle A.
Anybody else?
I said D, re-jump with the 2 players involved at the center jump circle.
Okay.
I also had D, re-jump with the involved players.
Okay. The correct answer is D, as in Delta. Re-jump with the 2 players involved that caused the ball to go out of bounds. Okay. 38. Let's see here. Let's bring up 38. Let's go with, let me read the question. Oh, this is a Jackie question. 38.
A1's located in the front court, passes the ball to A2, who's also located in the front court. A2 is not looking, ball strikes A2 and rebounds back to the back court. A1 touches the ball first when he or she are standing in their backcourt lane area. Official calls backcourt violation on team A. Team B throw-in will be from, I had the team B front court end line because it was inside the lane line, which puts the restart down on the end line.
I had A as
Knocking it
well.
out of the park, man. The key is,
Everybody
where does the
agree?
violation occur? That's the key.
Yeah, the violation occurs where the A player touches it again in the backcourt and they're in the lane area.
Perfect.
Yep. The backcourt violation doesn't occur just because it crosses the line. It only it occurs when somebody touches the ball. So wherever the ball is touched, you take you inbound the ball at the nearest spot. So that is correct. Very good.
Which other ones did you say you had questions on, JQ? We're gonna get to those.
I missed number 8 and I got 40 and 48 coming up.
We'll come back to those because we're gonna have time.
Yeah, 40 and 48 are yours.
39, Peyton.
You're muted.
I know, it just takes me time. Thank you. A1 is dribbling the ball in the front court, table side near the 28-foot mark. A2 and B2 are illegally contacting each other on the front court, table side part of the lane. Official calls a double foul on A1 and B2. The ensuing designated spot throw-in will be, I'd like to go nearest the foul where the ball was, which would be the sideline near table side at the 28-foot mark. That'll be the point of interruption where the ball was at the time. That.
That's correct. Anybody have any questions on that? Okay. Let's see, number 40. Let's go back to Tam, number 40.
All right, on the release of the ball by the free thrower, A1, but prior to the ball contacting the rim, B1 crosses the free throw line and enters a semicircle to box out A1 and illegally displaces A1. Official rules, A is nothing, B is delayed violation by only B1, foul only by B1, or delayed violation and foul on B1. So I was torn between this one, but I ended up being a B, delayed violation only by B1.
Okay.
But I also think that it could be a D, a delayed violation and foul on B1 because it displaces shooter before the ball hit the rim.
Okay.
Were you in our rule session on Monday, Tam?
Yes,
Okay, we talked about this very one.
yes. And I couldn't remember.
So B as in boy is 50% right. So D as in delta is the correct answer. It's a delayed violation, but the second they make, when they displace A1, then we have a foul. You're not allowed to displace a free throw shooter. Okay, so 40 is D as in delta.
What kind of
Can I
foul
ask
is
a
it?
question on this one real quick?
Sure.
So because it's the delayed violation and the foul, so the delayed violation, A1 would reshoot that free throw, correct? And then after that free throw, you would do the foul. So if they were in bonus, then they'd shoot. So the free throw would be a clear the lane free throw, and then you assess whatever the penalty was for the foul on B1.
Correct.
Okay.
You're displacing somebody like that. Is that considered a push type foul? Is that what we'd be looking at?
You can call it a push.
This doesn't happen that much, but I've seen it once or twice.
I've never called it myself.
I've never called it. I've seen it.
Yeah. And did they call it?
Yeah.
Okay. Chris with a C, 41.
Which of the following throw-in situations is illegal and results in a violation on team A? There is A1 with the sideline throw, attempts an alley-oop play to A2, but before A2 can touch the ball deflects off the backboard to A3. B, A1 bounce passes to A3 with the pass contacting the court inbounds. C, A1's throw is released prior to 5 seconds elapsing, but not touched by A2 until after 5 seconds has elapsed. Or D, A1 with a sideline throw attempts an alley-oop play to A2, but before A2 can touch the ball enters the basket. And I said D. Confidently.
Much more conviction, I was going to say.
Okay, 41's D. It's pretty basic. You basically can't score a basket unless somebody else touches it on the floor on an inbound. Okay, 42 is going to be Kelsey. Let me bring it up here.
Oh boy, because I'm batting 1,000 tonight.
Well, this is a 50-50 question, so you got a chance.
A1 is dribbling the ball in front court while A2 is posting up in the lane. 1 foot in the lane, 1 foot out of the lane. A2 lifts foot in the lane and then replants foot back in the lane. Official calls 3-second count.
Don't think too hard.
Lifts the foot in the lane and then replants it back in the lane. Official call. That's correct.
So we count 3 seconds in?
Oh wait, no, the official continues in 3 seconds. No, it's a 3-second violation. Just because you lift it up and put it back in the lane doesn't mean you've actually left the lane. So the foot has to land outside of it for it not to be a 3-second violation.
Okay.
This is a really strangely worded question, but so many are.
Yep. So that's correct. Let's see, that was 42, 43.
Are you online, Alston?
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
you've been sliding it the whole time. We've been trying to get you to answer
Lurking?
questions.
What's going on here?
He was
the
taking a
audio that
nap.
Doesn't work. I'm trying to turn it on, but doesn't work. It works now. So
Well, then you got.
I'm
then
sorry.
you have.
He has the rest.
You have 43.
okay. B1 is within 6 feet and actively guarding A1 who is dribbling the ball. The official has started the count and reached 3 seconds. B1 successfully deflects the ball out of A1's hands, but A1 recovers immediately and continues holding the ball. The official continues the count since B1 stayed within 6 feet of A1 and when reaching 5 calls a 5-second violation. I would say that's a correct ruling.
Okay.
Sounds like Chris's answer. Very, very convicted. That's not
Anybody
even.
else?
I said it was incorrect because you get 5 seconds to hold the ball, 5 seconds to dribble, and then 5 seconds to hold it again.
Okay.
I agree with Kelsey. I thought it was B because they were dribbling and now they're holding it.
Right. And that's the correct answer. 43 is B. You can hold, or dribble, hold. But, you know, when they change one status, the next, they have an additional 5 seconds. Okay. Since you were sleeping, Alston, 44. We'll give you another one.
Okay. A1 is located in backcourt and passes the ball towards the front court. B1 located in the front court taps the ball back towards the backcourt. A1 jumps from backcourt, catches the ball before it hits the backcourt, then lands in the front court. Official rules backcourt violation. I'm not sure about, is that a yes? Correct ruling? Oh wait, no, it's not a correct ruling. I guess it's B.
B? Okay.
Yeah.
You guys agree?
No.
Can somebody explain why it is or isn't correct?
I agree that it's B, because the defense touched it, which sent it back to the back court, so the offense can touch it again.
I agree, JQ.
Oh, okay.
So the rule is a team in team control in the front court can't be the last to touch the ball in the front court and the first to touch it in the back court. So first of all, does the team have team control in the front court?
Yeah.
Okay. It says A1 is in the back court, passes the ball towards the front court. B1 taps it back. Has A1 ever had team control in the front court?
No.
Okay, so right there, you know that this is not going to be the over and back violation because it doesn't meet the definition. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes, but in this situation, even if, pretend they did have front court status,
Correct.
B1 touches it, so it's still not a backcourt violation.
Right, because
Correct.
because A1 would have had to been the last to touch it in the front court. You're correct.
Okay. 45, Marlon.
In the middle of the first quarter, the Team B head coach notifies the official scorekeeper and official that they neglected to add number 24 to the official book, and 24 is about to check in. Official allows number 24 into the game after issuing an administrative technical foul. Does the penalty for this situation include forfeiture of coaching box privileges for Team B's head coach? I remember we went over this too, and I forgot.
Take a guess.
But okay, 50-50. I say yes. Yes. Hey.
Okay. Anybody else?
I said no, B. He's still entitled to the.
Why?
Sorry, I couldn't get my button to re-unmute. Because when I looked up Rule 10-1, under the penalty, the last line of it says head coach does not lose the privilege of the coaching box.
Why?
Because it's in the rule book.
There's a why to this
That
one.
is it because that it's an administrative technical foul?
Give that guy $1,000.
Except you gotta sound like you believe it.
Please give me $1,000. It is because of it's administrative. Can I have my $1,000?
Yeah, it's an administrative T. All right, so
You
there's a
you gotta sound more
differentiating
certain
between
than that,
administrative Ts and other types of technical fouls. So the correct answer is B as in boy. All right. 46, Peyton.
I thought we were going to hit on Alston on all these.
No, we're gonna give you a chance.
Hey, thanks for letting me participate.
Yeah.
Early in the second quarter, Team B is warned for interfering with the ball following a goal. Late in the fourth quarter, game tied, B2 clearly reaches through the plane, During a teammate throw-in, the official should blow the whistle, call a technical on Team B. The reason being there was a delay of game warning issued when they interfered with the ball. Maybe they were upset with the basket and they slapped it off toward the wall or something. And preventive officiating would be when that first one happens, make sure that that warning is written in the book. If the coach says that wasn't our first delay of game warning violation, then you can say, there it is in the book, and assess the technical.
How many delay of game warnings does a team get per half?
1.
That's a trick question.
You only get one per game.
Warning.
Yeah, they
How
only
many
get
delay
one
of
warning
game
a game.
warnings does a team get per half?
One.
They only get one. So the first one in the second quarter is the delay of game warning. Then the second one's the technical foul.
They only, yeah, they get, JQ,
You
you
get one
only get
period.
2.
One per game.
Right. So I have a question for you guys. For delay of game warnings, there's typically 4 that we think of. Can anybody name what they are? What we give them for?
Crossing the plane,
Okay, that's one.
touching the ball after it's scored.
That's 2.
That's 2.
Not coming on after a timeout.
That's different. What about on free throws?
Yeah, if the shooter is not on the, I was gonna say the shooter's not on the free throw line, if he's kind of taking his time, getting to the free throw line, if he's just moseying around outside of the free throw.
No, that's
lane.
different too.
That's different.
So
What
when
about,
you have 10 seconds to shoot your free throw?
That's different.
That's a violation.
What do you got, Marlon?
We're not, no, that was gonna be a 5-second call, never mind.
How about when there's a free throw and one of the team's players is all huddled up inside the key, delaying the free throw? That's one. And the fourth one is if a team has a timeout and they've gotten water on the floor, you know, when they were drinking water and refreshing themselves, and it causes a delay because now we got to wipe it up. Those are the typical 4 that are mentioned in the book. I'm sure you could think of others, but those are the ones that are official delayed game warnings.
And the answer to 46 is a technical on Team B or a technical on the player?
It's on technicals on the team.
It's a team technical.
Yeah.
Right, thank you.
C is in Charlie.
Yep.
Jacqueline, you said you missed 48 and 49?
Oh, she said 40 and 40. She didn't take the test yet, but those are the ones she had difficulty with, 40 and 48.
Okay.
So she gets 48.
All right. So that was 46. 47 will go to Tam. 47.
I
We
think
can
you
bring it
left
up.
us.
You leave us?
Yeah.
Oh, he's here.
I'm
Where?
here.
Oh, okay.
Mad.
No, I was thinking Nimitz.
47.
All right, A1 is driving to the basket for a breakaway lay-in. While the ball is in ring, B1, who is trailing a play, intentionally strikes a backboard and causes the ball to fall off the ring. The official rules: basket interference on B1, goaltending on B1, no points, technical foul on B1, or no points, let the play continue. It is definitely a technical foul on B1 for intentionally slapping the backboard. C.
Okay. That's correct. With conviction too.
I know. Chris, you got to take lessons from the man.
I know, right? Gosh. Must be a military thing.
There was a
Could you
question.
go back just a second? I'm sorry, that with the conviction, it's still.
Go ahead, ask
Guys
the
going in
question.
for, someone's going in for layup and someone smacks it, the backboard.
Yep.
Could you, the goal doesn't count?
Well, that wasn't in this question.
It wasn't in the
Oh,
question.
that's why, could you go back to the question just for 1 second? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
It's a
Ask your
technical.
question again.
Could you go back to 47 a sec? So
Okay, sorry, hang on. Okay,
the ball is on the ring, right? And B1's trailing, strikes the backboard. So there's no points.
that's correct. There's no, you don't give any points for that because he never touched the ball. He struck the backboard.
Okay, thank you.
Remember, it's an intentional strike of the backboard. There's a difference between intentional strike and unintentional strike.
Yeah, different scenario. If the ball's on the rim and the defender grabs the net, then he's going to get 2 points because that's basket interference. Okay, different scenario.
Okay, 48, Jacqueline.
A1 is fouled by B2 and A1 falls to the ground. A2 attempts to punch B2 but misses. Which of the following is correct procedure? So I thought that it was A. A1's assessed the flagrant personal foul and is ejected. And B2 shoots 2 free throws for the flagrant technical. Team B will get the ball at the division line opposite the table. And A1 must stay within the confines of the bench and be supervised by an adult for the remainder of the game. So I thought that was A, and I might be wrong, but I was actually looking for an answer that also allowed A1 to get his shots if he was entitled to them. Because A1 got fouled first, and I thought we were supposed to follow things in order that they happened. So just because A1 messed up and got the flagrant foul doesn't erase the foul first by B. So I was confused on this one because I was expecting an answer to say first
Okay.
A1 should get to shoot.
Let me ask you, let me try to help you out a little bit. So the first part of the question says A1 is fouled by B2 and A1 falls to the ground, right? So why do you feel that A1 should get free throws?
I guess this doesn't necessarily say that he should, but assuming it was either a shooting foul or it was in the bonus. So I guess I was trying to figure out what would happen if there were fouls. Maybe I'm reading too much into the question.
Okay. First of all, you're reading too much into the question. All right. Secondly, if he was in the act of shooting or he was awarded bonus, but he comes up and throws a punch, he's gone. He doesn't get to shoot his free throws. He's done.
Well, he wouldn't get to shoot, but shouldn't his substitute get to shoot? Because there was still the foul. I mean, assuming that he got to shoot free throws, there was still the foul, and his punch doesn't negate the first foul.
That's correct. Somebody else would get to shoot, but he can't shoot.
Right, but there would be shots first if there were supposed to be shots.
That's correct.
Okay, I'm less confused now and more confident than it's A.
Okay.
Anybody else have a different answer?
I said D, that
Okay.
A1 must leave the confines of the bench and playing court before the game can continue because just because he missed, he still threw a punch, which is an automatic ejection.
Okay.
From my interpretation. I could be wrong.
No, that's fine.
I chose C and then going kind of off what he said, but instead of leaving the confines of the bench, I thought he had to stay there and be supervised by an adult, whereas if the coach was ejected, they would need to leave the confines of the court.
Okay.
That was my logic behind it.
So we have a vote for A, we have a vote for D, we have a vote for C. Anybody for B?
No, but I'm gonna give a little more reasoning on my A. Because the difference, in my mind, the biggest difference between A and D is that in A, B2 has to shoot the free throws for the flagrant. Whereas in D, it says that any player from team B can shoot a technical, the
Okay.
technical. And I thought a flagrant had to be the person that it was on, like
Okay.
against.
All right. All right, so let me talk about that one first. Did A1 make contact?
No,
No.
with the air.
All right.
Doesn't matter.
Yes. You
The way
guys'
I
head
read
is,
this question is that A1 is fouled, a whistle is blown, the ball is dead, and then there's a swing and a miss. So in my mind, that swing and a miss has to be a technical foul of some sort, because the ball is dead.
And it says in Rule 8 that attempting a technical foul free throw can be attempted by any player of the offended team, including an eligible substitute or designated starter. The coach or captain shall designate the free throwers.
That's correct. So
That's
we need
correct.
to figure out if that attempted punch is a personal or a technical foul. What do you think, JQ?
Well, I think it's the flagrant foul, flagrant technical, and I think that extra word in there determines who shoots the free throws.
It does.
okay, so the correct answer is C. And let's just go through it. Okay. A1 is fouled by B2. All right, so we have a foul. All right, you report that foul. And whatever it is, if it's a shooting foul or a bonus foul, which, the substitute shoots that. But in this case, it doesn't say that, so we're not shooting. All right. A1 gets up, throws a punch and misses. Well, that's a flagrant. All right, flagrant technical. He's gone. All right. Anybody on the team can shoot a technical foul. So B can have anybody shoot, including a substitute. A in high school, he must stay on the bench and be supervised by an adult. So there's multiple rules going on here, but they flow if you follow one and then the next and then the next. That's how you come up with C.
Yeah, JQ, that A was the, if it was a flagrant personal, then B2 would have to shoot, but since it's a flagrant technical, then anybody can shoot. So that was the big difference between A and C.
So it's a flagrant technical because he didn't make contact?
No, it's a flagrant technical because the foul happened during a dead ball, and dead ball fouls are technical fouls.
So if it was during the run of play, it just would have been called a flagrant foul, not a flagrant technical.
Flagrant personal,
And then B2 would have had to shoot.
correct.
Okay, so because it's a flagrant technical, it allows anyone on team B to shoot.
Correct.
Okay, I thought the word flagrant made it have to be the offended player.
There's two different kinds of flagrants, whether the ball's live or dead. It depends on whether the ball's live or dead.
Okay.
Okay.
Never knew that.
And then after all this, team A shoots free throws, right? If it was a shooting foul or
If A was supposed to shoot free throws, then A1 substitute would shoot the free throws. All right, and then B would shoot the flagrant technical, and then they get the ball.
okay.
So you shoot in the order that the fouls happened. Keep it simple.
Okay.
So if someone takes a whack at somebody off ball during a live ball, and you know, if it's off ball, someone takes a swing and misses. It's just it's a flagrant personal. It's not a technical. You get ejected for taking a whack, but it's not a technical foul, is what I hear you saying. If the ball's live.
Yep.
Okay. What makes it a technical is the ball is dead.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Let's go 49 to Chris with a C.
A1 fouls B1, B2 takes exception to that. A1 and B2 begin to fight. Both coaches and 2 assistant coaches come onto the floor to prevent the fight from escalating. Official rules that both A1 and B2 will receive flagrant fouls and are disqualified. Also, both assistant coaches receive flagrant fouls and are removed from the visual confines of the area, stating only head coaches can come onto the floor. And I said that was the incorrect ruling because any adult coach or trainer can come onto the floor so long as it's to prevent the fight.
Yep.
Was that more confident than previous
Yeah,
ones?
but we didn't offer any money on that one because this question was so
I
easy.
know, right? Dang.
Kelsey, 50. We're gonna give you a chance to end on a good note.
Oh boy. In first quarter, with no 4-48 warnings have been issued, A1 is called for a player control foul on a drive to the basketball. As the official is reporting foul, Team A head coach is at the division line shouting and demonstratively expressing displeasure with the call. The official, in my opinion, should D, assess a technical foul on Team A's head coach, whether a 4:48 warning has been issued or not. But you don't bite into the officials.
Huck? Oh, you heard that from Jeff, huh?
Yeah.
Sheldon told him about not letting officials or not letting coaches, chew on.
Yeah,
officials.
I got it.
Yeah.
Somebody tell me what a 4:48 warning is.
It is a warning for coach or team conduct. So it says in the book, warning to a head coach, bench personnel for misconduct is an administrative procedure by an official, which is recorded in the scorebook by the scorer and or reported to the head coach.
Yep. But do you have to give a 4:48 warning before you give a coach a technical foul?
No, you don't.
Absolutely not.
If it's deemed major enough, you can.
Yeah, that's good.
His
Okay.
warning is when you looked over and made eye contact with him before you blew the whistle.
I've done that. Okay, so everyone, very good job. So let me just go through a couple things. First of all, I'm going to put back on the screen the order for reading the rule book because some of you may not have got that down. So make sure you write that down. This is the order we want you to take to read the rule book. Okay, I'm going to talk to you guys about how to take the test. First of all, there's no reason why none of you shouldn't get 100% on this test because we're just giving you all the answers. But you can not get 100% if you don't listen to what I say. So in your test, Ken, Kelsey, and Daryl will each get 40 questions out of the 50 that are on this test right now. Your 40 to each of you could be totally different. The system randomly picks out 40 questions for you. So your 40 questions could be different than the next person's 40 questions. The next thing they do is they don't throw the questions out in order. So the first question on your test could be, number 5 on our test. So if you're thinking, well, I'm just going to go through a number one and just pick the answer and write it down, well, that's not the case. You have to read the question, so that you know exactly what they're asking. You can't just go in order. It never happens that way. And secondly, well, you can't read the question and say, oh, it's B. No, because they changed the order of the answers too. So, for number one, the answer is true, but they could have A being false. So you have to read the question, make sure the question is correct, and make sure you pick the proper answer, not the proper letter. Because they play with you on that. The next thing you should do is this. When you submit your test, they score it immediately. So you'll get back saying you got 88% and you've missed questions 5, 6, and 7. But you don't know what 5, 6, and 7 are because they don't reprint it for you. So when you take the test, on the side of your margin, make sure you write the number down that the test refers to. So if your first question is number 3, after being removed from the game for symptoms of concussion, if that's your first question, on your margin, you're going to write down that's number 1. Because when they score the test, it just tells you which question you missed. It won't print the question out. So if you don't write the numbers down, you'll never know which one you missed. You guys understand what I'm saying? So
Yes.
So make sure you read the question, make sure you read the answer, because they switch the order of the questions and they switch the order of the answers. And if you don't get 100%, it's because you didn't read the question or read the answers. Okay. Now, one thing you should know that, your test heading at the top says 2020, 2021. Because last year was a COVID year and we didn't have many officials officiating, they decided just to leave the test the same, but they didn't change the headings. So don't get alarmed that you're taking the test from last year. You are taking the test from last year, but it's the same test for this year. So the heading makes no difference.
All right.
Okay.
Before we leave, could someone read the answers through one, just remind me the answers through 1 through 10? I was a little late in getting that down.
Okay, no problem.
Starting with number 1.
Number 1 is A.
Thank you.
Number 2 is C, head coach. Number 3 is B as in boy. Number 4 is D as in Delta. Number 5 is B as in boy. Number 6 is C as in Charlie. Number 7 is C as in Charlie. Number 8 is D as in Delta. Number 9 is C as in Charlie. And number 10 is A.
Thank you.
We still have time. If anybody has any questions on a specific rule or specific question, go ahead and ask. Feel free. If you need to leave, that's fine. But if you want to hang around for a few minutes for questions, that's fine too. Oh, I should put this up. Hang on a second. Here's the mercy rule. This is actually an arbiter. When you go into arbiter and you sign in, and if you look under the tab basketball, it has some of these little tidbit rules that are in the margins. But this is that mercy rule talking about the 40-point differential.
Yeah, that's in the WOA Central Hub. Once you log in there and you go to basketball, there's a bunch of stuff in there you should probably look at. And
just browse around. It's not the easiest website, but if you just browse around, you'll find stuff.
And I would like to thank all of you who sat here for 2.5 hours. I think the discussion went really well. I thank all you guys for trying to answer these questions and reason them out before we started tonight. So thanks.
Any questions, anybody?
Thanks, Kevin.
No, no
thank
problem.
you both.
Thanks for the
taking
help.
the time.
Feel free to
I have
reach
a
out.
question actually on this arbiter. So I was trying to look those things up And when I actually click the links, like I can see the web page with all the links on it, like for the mercy rule or for the study guide. But when I click on them, it says only people who are registered basketball can do it.
The same
see it.
issue.
Okay.
Same.
But you have your Arbiter account.
Uh-huh.
So
And
you can log
I'm
in.
registered. I can log in, I can go to the basketball tab, but I can't click on any link. It doesn't let me. It gives me an error.
What does
And
the
it
message
says my
say?
name up in the top right-hand corner as well. So it shows that I'm logged into WOA, but it doesn't actually let me view anything. It says I'm
And what does it say?
unauthorized.
What's the error message say?
It says unauthorized, that only members of WOA can view this content.
Is it because they're not registered? Stacy, they haven't passed the registered part?
I'm gonna check with the office with Todd to find out what's going on, because once you have an account, that implies that you should be in the WOA database. So I'll check. In fact, I'll check with John first because he would have a better idea. But I'll get back to you guys, or I'll just send a note to everybody in case somebody else has the same problem.
The only thing I could think of is maybe they're not considered registered yet.
I mean, mine
Which would be odd.
shows it like, because I've done all the things that I'm quote registered. I'm not certified yet.
That's correct.
But yeah, so that's I guess where my confusion lied, because I was like, I did all the things to be registered.
And
you're not
Still-
certified.
and it's been a
still
couple
getting
days.
You're still getting you're not authorized to look links.
Correct.
Okay,
Oh,
I'll
that's
check it
weird.
out for you guys. Thank you for, I think, JQ, you told me that the other day and I just sent you the test, but I will find out and send a note back to the group.
Thank you.
Hey, Daryl, when you did that, did you do it the same day or did you come back the next day? Or was this whoever mentioned that? Was that Chris?
It was me. Yeah. I've actually come back multiple times and it still hasn't done it, both on different days.
No,
Same
but
with me.
It should have.
I've tried multiple days.
You should have. If you did your stuff, it should have registered. Or sometimes when you take the test or you do the clinics, it doesn't show up till the next day.
Yeah, I was gonna check tomorrow, and if it doesn't show up, then I'll also let you know, Stacy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it sounds to me that there's something going on. Yeah, Stacy will check with John and then check with Todd.
Yeah, I can do that. Hey, and all you guys have gotten your DocuSign things, right? MSA and W9.
Correct.
For some reason, it didn't like the group send, so we had to send them individually, but as long as you have them and you signed them, that's good.
I have not got mine.
Darrell,
Yes.
what's
so
going on? I
close.
thought we had solved their problem.
No, I'll check again right now, but I haven't seen anything.
And they're not in your junk folder, right? You said you checked that?
Yeah.
All right. We might have to send them 3 times to you. And your email was right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Stacy, when they do their stuff, will they be cleared to work cold turkey?
Yeah.
But probably not Mount Sinai, huh?
Why not Mount Si?
That's this weekend.
Some of these guys, I already said they could work.
Have they got games?
I got games already.
I do.
Or okay, cool.
They
Who you
just
guys
need to,
working
be
with?
to do the rec games. They just need to be registered, not certified. And some of these guys have done that.
I'm working with Mary.
Mary Roper.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm working with Ira.
cool.
Yeah.
They're both veterans.
And they- yeah.
Ask them questions. They'll help you get through it.
He's
Yeah,
been
they both have
reffing longer,
a lot of training.
reffing longer than I've been alive.
So, I'll be up there this weekend, but I'll be working cold turkey between varsity games. So if any of you want to work with me, feel free to ask Salima, our rec assigner. And I'm sure Stacy will work with you too if she can walk from doing her other games. I'm sure she'd be happy to work with you too.
I would love to, but the cold turkey, I'm going to be out of the state. So
Are you?
I'm reffing.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm reffing in Fairbanks.
Okay.
So
All right. Any more questions on rules, people?
you guys are awesome. I appreciate it.
Thank you
Feel
guys.
free to contact me if you have any questions.
All right.
I have a
Thank you.
couple questions on signals.
Sure,
Okay.
we can stay here. If you need to leave, go ahead. If you want to hang around, feel free.
So for a signal for a flagrant foul, is that the same as intentional foul?
No, I don't think there's a signal for a flagrant foul. You just kind of like toss the person, right? Like, what do you do, Kevin?
Well, I usually toss them at the spot. And then when I go over the reported, I just report, I see, white 21, flagrant foul.
So there's no signal that
There's no signal
Like,
for a flagrant foul.
you would signal flagrant? Okay,
No, usually we just give them the heave hold sign, we just toss them.
okay. And then I'm confused on the signal for player or team control. I thought somebody said that we were punching, and then this book just shows the hand behind the head, kind of like old school. Which
We're
one is it?
We're punching
So we punch?
for both.
But you can also, if you come out and do it per the book, no one's gonna ding you for it.
So either is okay, you're saying?
I'm saying either is okay. If you're getting evaluated, they want you to punch. But our evaluation chairman has told the evaluators not to ding anybody if they come up behind their head.
Okay,
I say just get in the habit of punching, since that's what we're doing, and try to stick with that.
and don't go behind the head and then punch, just go straight to the punch.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the most correct way to do it. Okay,
Is the punch, okay.
But if you see somebody doing it the other way, this means they've been around a long time, that's all.
And then just one more, because this one's different than what I'm used to. The 3-point attempt is now above your head with one hand, not down at your waist.
Say that again, the 3-point.
A
attempt.
3-point attempt, you're saying it's a 3-point attempt, you come up with the 3 and not down at your waist?
Yeah, you always come up.
It's never been at your waist.
I thought it used to be, sorry, below your waist, but.
Maybe 3-second call for the key, but
No,
not a 3-point shot.
Are you thinking if it's like actually judged a 2-point shot, like their foot's on the line?
I'm thinking this is long past, so. I'm
Yeah, I've
thinking
been
years ago.
I've been
I'm getting
repping
old.
30 some years, and a 3-point shot when they first came in has never been below the waist. It's always been above your head. And it's not above straight up, it's off to the side. I don't know if you can see me in this, it's not like this, it's off to the side.
Okay,
I
So
think you
it's-
might be
it's up.
thinking about the shot that's so close to the 3-point line that people might think it's a 3. And so in that situation, you use 2 fingers down to the floor to let everybody know that it's really a 2-point attempt.
okay.
Okay, I think that's the only thing that fits what you're thinking of. Okay, are you guys all gonna make it on Monday for the scrimmage?
Yeah,
I can come, but I'll be late.
That's okay, just get there.
Where's it at,
5:30.
Stace?
It goes from 6:15 to 7:30 at Kent Lake High School. We have the
Okay.
girls JV and varsity, I believe.
Oh, boy.
What time do you want us there?
6. 6, yeah. I mean, they're having practice, so I don't want you to get there too early, but I'd like you to get there a little early so we can get organized.
If you're going to Kent Lake, make sure you guys look it up.
Yeah, those nice S curves coming from the north.
It's just off of 167, just up the street.
I should be able to find it. It's less than a mile from my house.
Yeah.
Kent Lake, we call that the day trip.
Kent Lake isn't, the day trip is something like Kentwood. Kentwood's out there.
Kent Lake is further than Kentwood.
No,
Yep.
it's not.
Yeah.
Not from where I live.
My wife says that way. And she went to Kent Ridge.
No, you're not even close.
Kent Lake's out there by Lake Sawyer.
Oh, I'm thinking of Kent Ridge. You're right. Kent Lake is out there.
The problem with Kent Lake is the area around there is kind of dark.
Yeah.
So you can easily drive past the turn to the school. So make sure you get to go to the school website and get the directions, and
I'll
You get
take
yourself
those
some
games. They're
time.
nice and close.
give yourself
Yeah,
some
they don't
time.
happen very often. I mean, I live a block from West Seattle High School, and I've probably reffed there 3 times in my 20 years. So. Okay, what else? We good? Hey, Darrell, your name is Darrell, right? Not Daryl?
Correct.
I
Okay,
called him Daryl the whole time. Sorry about that.
Oh, I've gotten it all my life. It's all right.
and I just want to make sure because, and I couldn't talk when I was in the car. I was going to ask you that.
Yeah.
We'll get it right.
Yeah. No, it's all good.
Have any of you already worked games for us?
Nope. I got my first game Saturday.
Okay.
Give Mary Roper a hard time. Tell her I told you to do that.
All right. I got 3 games with her, so.
She's fun. She'll be great.
And you're what school are you at?
I'm in Snoqualmie.
Snoqualmie Middle School?
Yeah. And then on
Okay.
Sunday, I'm in Fall City.
And who's your partner on Sunday?
On Sunday, let me check real quick. Kirk Lyons.
Oh,
Okay.
Kirk's fun.
Oh, she's taking care of you guys. That's good. I should have gotten
Okay.
those assigners on the call tonight, and I didn't again, so it'll
Yeah,
happen.
you should have had them come on for a few minutes.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we're gonna have another reason that we got to get on a call, so I'll just bring them on then.
Okay. Have you guys attended a membership meeting yet?
No.
Okay. All
If
right.
you do, the next one that's coming up, I don't know, it's within a month or so. And the assigners always talk on those, so you can at least see who they are.
Okay.
I think that would be helpful for you.
Okay, well, good luck
Another
to you
question
guys.
on the PMBOA website, because right now we get into the apprentice thing. Is there like a login to get into the main site?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have to request access. So when you go to pmboa.org, it'll say already have an account, log in, or it'll say request access. And so you put in your email and a password of your choice, and then we have to approve people before you can get in. Just to make
Okay.
sure you don't have some hocus pocus people trying to get in.
So
It's like
fill
a
out a
secret
request.
club.
Okay.
And
So I-
actually, that's partially true. You can get to a lot of stuff on pnboa.org without a login, but all the member only access stuff, you need to do that for. You need to get that account. Perfect.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So when some of these games are cash, and then other games like it says travel fee. Know what a per diem is, but travel fee, like when are those? How do you know when you're getting a travel fee? And if it's cash, how does that work?
So it's cash. When you have a cash game, when you get to the gym, in your case, you'll be working with a veteran, so you just ask them, how do we get paid? Usually what happens is there's somebody at the gym who is responsible for paying you. So, you're there for 3 games. So somewhere during the night, you're going to ask whoever, maybe the guy at the front desk or somebody who's going to come around. You can tell that they're kind of the supervisor, and you just ask them, who do we see afterwards to get paid? And they'll tell you.
Okay.
Sometimes they'll just come to you and give you an envelope. Other times they'll tell you, well, go see so-and-so over there in the corner. They'll take care of you. So when it says cash, make sure you don't leave until you get your cash. But they always pay you after your last game. Very seldom do they give it to you in advance unless they know you, or if there's a reason, maybe the guy has to leave for a few minutes or something like that. So, and then travel fees, we only get travel when we do real school games, like middle school or C-ball or JV ball or varsity ball. So for school games, we get travel, but that's the only time you'll see it. And when you'll know is because your schedule will say some sort of school ball. We don't get it for summers. If it says summer school ball, we don't get it for that, because that's all that means is it's a summer league for school. It's a summer league game. But for regular school ball, it'll say that, and you'll see the $18 travel fee. It'll be in your you know, where you get, you know, where you see how much money you're making, it'll be in there. That's when you
Okay.
get your travel.
Yep. Have you guys all opened Arbiter Pay accounts?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Yeah, you're gonna notice on those Arbiter Pay accounts that initially you're not gonna make any money because the WOA deducts your WOA dues. So you'll work a game and it'll say you have like minus $25 or something. It'll all work out. If you have any questions as it goes along, just call one of us. Okay,
You pay yearly dues.
yeah,
Cool.
okay.
Sweet.
Easy.
I want to know how your games go. If you work this weekend or next weekend, just drop me a line. I'm curious.
All
And
right.
hopefully I'll see you on Monday. We'll get some more practice in.
Yeah.
Hey, Kelsey, you had a question in the chat that you should write down the number of the question that they give it to you as you take the test. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I couldn't remember if you said that that's what you were supposed to do as you're taking the test. If you write down the question so that you know when you go to look back on it what the question was, because you were saying they only reference the number, not the question itself.
Yeah, so in the margin of your paper test, when you bring up your test online, like number 4 and on the one we just went over, that could be number 1 on your test that you take.
Okay.
So just write on the side, that's number 1. Otherwise, you'll never know when they score your test if you miss one.
It's a really dumb system and I wish they'd change it, but they don't listen to me.
Yeah. That's why you have to read the questions, because they change the order and they also change the order of the answers.
Stacy, I think you need to speak with more conviction when you talk to them, and maybe they'll change it.
Oh, maybe now that you are speaking with better conviction, maybe they'll listen to you. Or else
about
Dan,
that.
because he's got that great voice. They'll have to change it.
But can they figure out his intent?
The art
Do
of
you
rap.
guys have friends in that are officiating? Is that how you decided to join, or is it just? I'm just kind of curious on how you guys come about getting into the PMBOA.
I had a cousin who officiates.
No, who's that?
His name's Sean Evans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sean
Anybody else?
Evans, I know that name. Where does he rep? Where does he ref?
Basketball.
Now where?
Around the Auburn Federal Way.
Yeah,
area.
I think I know who he is.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he just passed away, but he's the one that got me into reffing.
Oh, man,
Okay.
sorry to hear that. Anybody else? You just randomly signed up?
I got tired of seeing so many bad officials, and rather than complain to them, I wanted to make a difference by doing it right. Started with soccer and have now joined basketball.
That is exactly why I started reffing basketball, because I was a coach and I couldn't stand AAU level coach, and I couldn't stand the bad officials. So we're in the same bucket.
No one else doing this for personal enjoyment or fulfillment? Just to get out of the house? That's what I'm
Yep.
doing it.
Well, that too. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been friends with the Federleys and playing softball with them for several years now, and I always hear them talk about officiating stories, and I liked how it sounded like a fun community to be a part of and stuff like that. So
That's good, because they're getting old, just like I am.
So, when you can, try to find yourself somebody, a mentor or somebody that, you want, you get along with, and just come watch their games. Go to Stacy's varsity games, come to mine if you want. And, we try to, I always take the time. If you want to come to a game, we'll bring you into the locker room. We'll let you listen, to our pre-games, come in at halftime, come in after the game. So you kind of get some of that background besides just watching the game, and you can ask us about plays. Sometimes on Friday nights or Saturday nights, we try to meet up sometimes, to grab a bite to eat after the game. And it's good. That's a good opportunity to, meet other officials and, hear about their games and that kind of stuff. Or if you have stuff you want to talk about, after you guys do a handful of games, you're gonna have lots of questions. You're gonna say, this happened to me, what do you do? This happened to me, what do I do? Feel free. I mean, the veterans like myself and Stacia, we know we're not gonna be around forever. So that's why we do this, so that we give you guys a chance to learn from us. And the people that have started are moving up faster, I should say, because back in the day when we started, we didn't have all this, we didn't have mentors like this, and we didn't have Zoom, and we didn't have accessibility to tape and all the learning materials that we have now. So you guys are in a great situation right now, and great advantages to you if you can take advantage of this. So if you work and you like it, just huge opportunities, huge. So
Yeah, depending on the interest, I might try to do a Zoom with you guys, like maybe every month during the season, to see if there's a lot of questions and stuff. And if there's not interest, then we'll stop it. But I think it might be a good opportunity for you guys to swap stories,
Yeah.
swap situations. So, and I'll ask Kevin and Steve and a few other people if they want to join with us. Then we can all try to figure out how to look at a situation, because we all look at things differently. So yeah, it'd be fun.
okay. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Kevin. I appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. Bye-bye.